Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're here right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North. I'm on Instagram at Alliance PW Network, or feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Alrighty, so this is Shooting Up North's Impact Wrestling News and Notes for March 23rd, 2022. So let's get into it. And I want to give a shout out to Lil Silver. Thank you very much for bringing this to my attention. This kind of flew under the radar with me, but he brought this to my attention this morning. So thank you, Lil Silver. I want to give you a shout out there. Tasha Steelz is going to be defending the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship against former AEW star Big Swole on April 1st. GCW event entitled For the Culture. So WrestleMania weekend, GCW, Tasha Steelz defending the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship against Big Swole. Now, first, I want to touch upon a previous podcast that I did because I think a few people, I just want to say a few people might have got confused because I did a podcast speculating that the possibility of GCW and Impact Wrestling working together. Some people may have read into it the wrong way, thinking I was talking about GCW and Impact Wrestling having like a joint show or like much like Impact Wrestling versus New Japan Pro Wrestling, like a big partnership. But that's not what I was talking. I was talking about a minor partnership, just working together in a minor capacity is what I was referring to. And this something like this is what I was referring to. The Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship being defended on a GCW card. Just something like that. Just something like that. So I think a number of people might have got confused when they read the title of a past podcast, but this is all I was really talking about. GCW, maybe asking maybe if they can have the Impact Wrestling or Impact Wrestling title defended on their show, something of that nature. But anyway, back to Tasha Steelz and Big Swole. So Tasha Steelz defending the Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Championship against Big Swole again on the GCW For the Culture event on April 1st. Should be a great match. And I know Tasha Steelz is very excited. She posted it on her Twitter this morning or last night, I believe, hyping it up. And the only issue I have with this match is, why is it taking place April 1st for GCW? Why isn't it taking place on Impact Wrestling's Multiverse of Matches? This would be a perfect match. This would be a perfect match for Impact Wrestling's Multiverse of Matches. Bringing in Big Swole to take on Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz is going to go over here. She's not going to lose the Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Championship to Big Swole, so she's going to win the match here, of course. So I'm thinking, why is Brett Lauderdale putting this match together? Why isn't Scott D'Amore putting this match together? This is one thing that I'm a little confused about. This match should be on Impact Wrestling's Multiverse of Matches on April 1st, not GCW For the Culture show on April 1st. Yeah, I'm just not just a little confused about that. It's going to be a great match nonetheless, but I'm a little confused why it's not showing up on an Impact Wrestling show on the Multiverse of Matches. Doesn't make sense to me. Again, Brett Lauderdale, thinking outside the box with this one is like, yeah, I could bring in Tasha Steelz, have her defend the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship, and I'll put her up against former AEW star Big Swole. And what is Scott D'Amore thinking when he sees this? Is he like saying, oh man, I could have booked that match for Multiverse of Matches. Now I can't because it's signed for GCW. This is definitely a match that should be on an Impact Wrestling show, not a GCW show, in my opinion. I think most of you out there agree with me. So that's why I'm a little confused as to why it's on a GCW show. Thus, again, brings to light my past podcast. This is how the GCW now this is how GCW and Impact Wrestling going to be working together. Just a very, very tiny capacity like this, but Yeah, should definitely be on multiverse of matches, 100%. You know, I'm very surprised that that's not. But anyway, there's nothing I could do. It's in Dallas. It's taking place in Dallas. Um, GCW, part of the GCW collective that weekend. So yeah, so again, should be a fantastic match. Should be a fantastic match, but should be on multiverse of matches, Scott DeBar. You know, why is Brett Lauderdale getting this match? Huh, Scott? Anyway, okay. So speaking of Tasha Steelz, um, she's pushing Impact Management to bring back the Knockouts Lockdown. So here she was actually speaking to WrestleZone. So it says Impact Wrestling Champion Tasha Steelz recently spoke with WrestleZone about her desire for the promotion to bring back the Knockouts Lockdown stipulation, and how she's very excited to face former AEW star Big Swole, which I just mentioned, for GCW. So here's she said, oh, okay. So she says she has spoken with Impact Management about bringing back Knockouts Lockdown. So this is what Tasha Steelz had to say. Says, for the women, I hope Ultimate X will continue. Me too. I thought it was a great match, the women's Ultimate X. I don't want it to be this thing where it was just this year, whether it's a yearly thing or we bring it back again, or we bring it back later again this year. Knockouts Lockdown. I want to do that. I've brought it up with Impact Management to bring that back. The Knockouts Lockdown. I've never really done a cage match like that before, so I think it'll definitely be something on my bucket list to do, especially going in as champion and defending my title, doing it. So that's definitely the thing that's at the top of my bucket list, the Knockouts Lockdown. Another thing I want to do is an Iron Woman match, but a 60-minute Iron Woman match. So uh, Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Champion Tasha Steelz is taking the lead here. She's taking a leadership role here. Speaking with Impact Management, wanting to bring back a variety of matches with the Knockouts Lockdown. She wants the Ultimate X match to come back. She also wants a 60-minute Iron Man match. So good for Tasha Steelz. She wins the belt and she just immediately jumped into a leadership role. Really, really impressive to see. Really cool to see her doing that. And I would love to see the Knockouts Lockdown back. I would love to see the Ultimate X, the Women's Ultimate X back as well. And hell, let's do Tasha Steelz defending the Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Championship against Deonna Purrazzo in a 60-minute Iron Man match. That would be absolute. Masha Slamovich against Masha Slamovich. That would be absolutely pure fire, pure fire. So again, I really think it's really awesome that Tasha Steelz is taking this leadership role here and asking for certain matches to come back. So good on Tasha Steelz. See, she's proven right now that they haven't made a mistake. They didn't make a mistake. They putting that title around her waist. So again, good for Tasha Steelz for speaking up, talking to Impact Management, throwing out ideas, taking on that leadership role. So good for Tasha Steelz. The Ultimate X match for the multiverse of matches actually has been changed. Originally, it was Trey Miguel defending his X Division Championship against Vincent, Speedball Mike Bailey, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Jordan Grace. But now it has been announced that Chris Bay will be replacing Speedball Mike Bailey, and no reason was given for that. So it's now Trey Miguel defending against Vincent, Chris Bay, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Jordan Grace. Still going to be an absolutely fantastic match. This Ultimate X match. It's still going to be absolutely pure fire. Trey Miguel is not going to lose because he's got to go to Rebellion and defend the X Division Championship in that three-way dance. Trey Miguel, but still, it's going to be a great match. It would have been great. It would have been great if Speedball Mike Bailey was in it, but it's going to be, I think, equally as great with Chris Bay. So Chris Bay in that match now, replacing Speedball Mike Bailey. No reason has been given. Another match has been announced. Very interesting match for the multiverse of matches. So Josh Alexander teaming with Jonah, former enemies. I guess they're still enemies, unlike the tag team duo, taking on a team of Moose and PCO. So that should be an absolutely tremendous match as well. I like the team of Josh Alexander and Jonah. Are they going to get along? We'll see. Is Jonah going to attack Josh Alexander after the match? We'll see what happens there. It's interesting. Moose teaming with PCO. PCO is supposed to be Honor No More, but now he's teaming with the Impact Wrestler in Moose. So they're slowly taking PCO away from the Honor No More faction. I think the Honor No More faction will probably kind of fizzle out after the new Ring of Honor kicks off, which is going to be April 1st, Supercard of Honor. So I think we're going to slowly see it fizzle out a little bit. But they're definitely trying to move PCO away from the Honor No More faction. But that's going to be a great match. Great match. Josh Alexander and Jonah versus Moose and PCO. That's going to be pure fire. They just might blow the roof off the building with that one. So that's going to be a great one. And speaking of multiverse matches, we're going to end it with this. The Briscoes, as we know, the Briscoes are taking on the Good Brothers, the multiverse matches on April 1st. Now, I'm a little concerned. On how that match is going to, actually be. Is it going to be? I don't think it's going to be a terrific match. And the reason why I'm saying that is, before the multiverse of matches, the Briscoe is going to be on the Supercard of Honor, same day, April 1st. So Supercard of Honor and multiverse of matches, both April 1st. So the Briscoes are taking on FTR at the Supercard of Honor, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. And it's going to be an absolute war. It's going to be a hard-hitting absolute war. They've developed quite a feud. They've gone back and forth. FTR attacked the Briscoes at Final Battle. So now they have the match at Supercard of Honor. It's going to be a hard-hitting affair. And after that match, the Briscoes are going to have to drive 18 miles to WrestleCon, to the multiverse of matches, and then wrestle the Good Brothers. What kind of shape are they going to be in after their match with FTR? And how long are they going to have to rest? I mean, right after that match, you're going to have to jump into a car and drive 18 miles. As I said, I looked it up. Like, I'm a geek. I looked it up. So it's 18 miles from the Supercard of Honor venue to WrestleCon, where multiverse of matches are taking place. And Supercard of Honor starts at 7, probably from 7 to 10, I believe. And then the multiverse of matches starts at 10. And I don't know how long, probably 10 to like 1. So technically, you could put the Briscoes and FTR on first, and then the Good Brothers and the Briscoes on last at multiverse matches. But still, if they're banged up after the FTR match, because again, it's not gonna be a scientific match. It's not gonna be just a bunch of headlocks and arm drag takedowns and leg locks. It's gonna be a hard hitting affair. I'm sure there's gonna be some death defying moves, some high risk, high spot moves. Death defying, some high spots in that match. And so what kind of shape are the Briscoes going to be in for their match with the Good Brothers? That's why I'm thinking we might not get the Briscoes at 100% against the Good Brothers. So that's a little concerned about that. But nonetheless, we'll see how it goes. If anyone could have 2 great matches on one night, it's definitely the Briscoes. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But before I go, I want to check to see if there's any more Impact Wrestling updates here. Let's take a quick look. Any more Impact Wrestling? No, it doesn't look like there's any more Impact Wrestling updates. Check one more site here, and then we'll wrap it up. Nope, that's it. Okay, so that's it. That's it for me. That's it for Shooting Up Norths. This has been Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling news and notes for March 23rd, 2022. And as always, I'm watching the news. Anything breaks, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.